Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know the setting is a little bit different, but instead of being in the filming room that I usually film in, I am in my grandmother's living room. Doesn't this house look very like grandma-y? Right? You guys know what I'm talking about. I feel like all grandma's houses look the same. Today I want to show you guys what my drugstore foundation routine looks like. You guys know I love drugstore products, and today I just basically wanted to do a more like chill video. I'm not using any studio lighting or anything. I basically have a window behind the camera, and I just put the camera on 2 shoe boxes, and I'm literally sitting on the floor. So we're doing this shit old school. And there are quite a couple of things that you guys have seen me use before, but today I want to really go more in depth and like let you know what I use, why I use it, and all that good stuff. So before we get into the video, if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. I am really thinking of getting on like this schedule of choosing like 3 days out of the week that I'm gonna upload like religiously, that you guys can expect like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know I'm putting up a video. So let me know in the comments below if there are any specific days that you prefer or anything like that. I just need to get my brain on a schedule, because if not I'm like all over the place. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime my face. This is the NYX Hydra Touch Oil Primer. Now specifically why I like using this primer is because I do have dry skin. It's like normal to dry, so I just find that this really helps like hydrate the skin. And also I sometimes will just mix it into the foundation a little bit, and I'll just wear it like that. Oil is like something that is like so good to add to the foundation, and I love because it really just adds a nice glow to the skin, and it doesn't change the consistency of the foundation or the coverage at all. But if you guys have oily skin and you don't feel comfortable using oil, I know those of you out there that have oily skin are literally like, oh no bitch, I am not using oil on my face. You can use the Milani Prime and Light, and I'll put it in the description box down below. It is also one of my favorite drugstore primers, and it does not have oil at all. Or you can use the NYX Angel Veil. That one is super good too. It is mattifying, it fills in the pores, and it just doesn't provide any shine or anything like that. So this, I basically put it on my skin, just like how you see like those girls on Instagram that they like put on the unicorn tears. That's exactly how I do it. And this, it smells so nice, and I really like the ingredients that are here, because I've seen other oil primers that the ingredients, like it has like a lot of like crazy shit that I don't know how to pronounce. So I'm like, I'm gonna pass, because depending on the oil, it could be like pore clogging, and we don't want any of that stuff, because I tend to have very textured skin. Like I don't get like cystic acne or anything like that, but I do get a lot of like bumps, and I just like to press it into the skin after I've rubbed it in. I just feel like this helps it absorb into the skin. And the foundations that I love from the drugstore, you guys already know, it's the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. I am obsessed with this foundation. I think this could possibly very well be my favorite foundation in general, like not just drugstore, but like in general, because so far any high-end foundations I have not fallen in love with the way I've fallen in love with this baby right here. And in Target I bought this for $5.99, and I was like so what I do is I mix these two guys right here. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect, the 2-in-1 foundation. This is very full coverage. If you find your perfect foundation match in this line, which I did not, you can definitely go ahead and try this by itself, but I like to mix these two because this is much lighter than this. I don't know if you guys can like really tell that color difference, but I love mixing these guys together. They complement each other really well. I like to use a buffing brush. This is the Morphe M444. Yeah, that's a good match. So I basically use the brush and really press it into the skin so I don't get any streaks or anything like that right before I buff it out. Instead of just going directly in and just starting to buff everything out, I just first kind of press in the product, and then when I have it kind of pressed everywhere, then I go and buff it out. And if I want a more like flawless coverage, if I feel like the brush didn't do that well or anything like that, then I go in with my Real Technique sponge, which I adore. That is my favorite beauty sponge. I love it more than the Beauty Blender, like I'm not even kidding. I think it could be that the sponge is $5 and the Beauty Blender is $20. Okay, now that we have a very flawless and matte base on, my two favorite drugstore concealers are these guys right here, the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, which I literally have nothing left of. So I guess we're not using that today. And the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, which I recently discovered and I absolutely love it. I'll put like somewhere up here the video where I tested this and to see if it is a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. So I basically just put like a triangle. You know how you see everyone on YouTube doing that whole triangle thing? That's because we want to make the face like look pulled back. We want to bring light to this part under the eyes. The only thing I really don't like about this concealer is that the doe foot, which is this little guy right here, is so small that you have to like constantly be going in and putting more product because it honestly does not pick up much product. Now the only difference here is that since we're going for that full coverage, I'm gonna let this concealer just dry a little bit, because when you let your more watery concealers or liquidy concealers, you guys know what I'm talking about. You know how there's certain concealers, like for example this one, this is not drugstore, but the Kat Von D Lock-It concealer, this is a very thick concealer versus, for example, this one, the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, is not a thick concealer at all. It is very liquidy. It is good, but it's very liquidy. So with more liquidy concealers, you're gonna wanna let them dry just a little bit, because then when you blend it out, the finish is more matte and more full coverage. You guys will see what I mean once I blend it out. Ooh. There's the kitty walking outside the window. Now that we've let that dry just a little bit, I'm gonna go in with my Real Technique sponge and then just start blending that out. You see? Look at that coverage. So good. If you guys like these more like chill videos where you kind of like see a background and stuff like that, let me know, because I will totally do that for you guys. I honestly really don't mind. I mean, my foot's like a little asleep, but we're good. My favorite thing to set my under eyes currently from the drugstore, because we all know that I love my Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. But from the drugstore, my favorite thing to set my under eyes is this baby right here that I discovered very recently. I'm going to, it's so dirty. Ugh. I have it in the color Fair Light because, as you can tell, it has like a banana color to it, and I really like yellow tinged powders. You see how you can kind of tell the color? I'm gonna look up to blend out any creases that may have happened. And then I'm just gonna pick up some of that powder, just like that, and press it under the eyes. I am just going to press some extra powder under the eyes and do a slight bakage. Okay, so now I've had that sitting there for about like 1 to 2 minutes. I don't really like to bake for too long because, like I said, I have dry skin. So if I bake for too long, it starts feeling like really tight under the eye. I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but it's like really uncomfortable. I put just a little bit of powder right there in the top, and I'm grabbing this brush. This is a Morphe E48. I think a pretty good dupe for that brush is this guy right here, the e.l.f. small tapered brush. I mean, I don't want to say dupe, but it's kind of like a really good alternative that is just as amazing for under the eye. They are shaped differently. Like this one is more tapered. This one has like an angle to the, it's like tapered but like kind of angled, you guys can tell. But these are both my favorite brushes for going under the eye. You see it like fits perfectly right there. So I just basically grabbed a little bit of that powder and I put some on the brush, and I'm just gonna start sweeping it away. And I'm also gonna pass some of the powder on my eyelid just to be able to set that foundation, because I did go over the eyelid with foundation. If you do have oily skin and you tend to get oily in the T-zone area, this is the T-zone area right here, the forehead, the nose, and it can even go down to this area right here, but this is mainly the area where people tend to get really oily. Now, I do not get oily there, but makeup does break up on my nose, especially since I touch my nose a lot and all that. So I'm grabbing some of that same powder and I'm tapping it onto my nose and the rest of my T-zone area. I don't know if me filming here is a good or a bad idea because I literally am getting so distracted. I'm like, ooh, phone, a cat, oh look, someone's taking out the garbage. Now that we've basically set all the very necessary places of the face that we don't want any creasing or we don't want any like oiliness or any makeup breaking up, you can also set here the smile lines or here under the lip. I know people like to set certain parts of the face. I like to use the same powder because I just find that this powder is so finely milled and just such a good product for really setting the face. So I don't really steer toward anything else because I really like this powder. So I'm basically grabbing some product with a very big powder brush. I'm going in and setting the rest of the face, just doing very quick tapping motions, setting the neck, the makeup on the ears, really everywhere. You guys have no idea how obsessed I am with this foundation routine. I feel like it's just so hydrating but very matte and full coverage. It's just, if you guys feel like your face is too oily to use oils or anything like that, keep in mind that sometimes our faces get really oily when they're overcompensating for the lack of moisture. So the body's kind of like overproducing that. So if you have oily skin, please do not be afraid to moisturize your morning, your nighttime routine. Make sure you are very hydrated, drink a lot of water, and try that out for like 2 months and see how your skin reacts to it. Maybe your skin goes and changes a little bit, but do not be afraid of using oils. Oils can be very good for the skin and they are very natural. Just make sure that you're getting a product that's like good quality oils and it's not like a bunch of crazy shit in there. I absolutely love this guy for contouring. It is so good. I can't believe I broke it, but and I am using the Morphe M403. I really like this brush for contouring because it is not dense at all and it just gives like a nice finish and not like too harsh, because for my regular foundation routine I don't like a harsh contour, me personally, but everybody's different. With a fluffier brush, this is basically more or less the same brush, just one is larger. This is the Morphe M551, and I do mention Morphe a lot because they do have very affordable and good brushes. I mean, you get what you pay for, and these are good quality brushes. I obviously am not an affiliate of theirs or anything like that, so I make no money if you buy or do not buy Morphe brushes, but that is just my opinion. I think they are good brushes and I really like them. Now I go in and bronze up the skin a little bit. This is my all-time favorite bronzer so far from all the ones that I have used because this gives a very natural bronze. It is not too harsh or anything like that. It is a very neutral color. You can even use this to contour if you really want to because it's just such a nice finish. And I just basically go over where I contoured just a little bit higher, and I just sweep it over and I sweep it on the forehead. I'm obsessed with this bronzer and it literally smells like a tropical vacation. My goodness, I'm just obsessed with Drugstore products. They are so good. They are really kicking it up like 100 notches. I feel like high-end products are literally quaking. For brows, you guys know that my favorite Drugstore brow product is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, but this brow routine I'm kind of just gonna fast forward through it because this is more about the foundation. This is not about the brows. But if you guys want a brow routine, I would be more than happy to do that for you because I basically only use like 3 products for my brows, so it would be very simple and it's very easy to achieve, very like nice natural brows. Now we're moving on to my favorite part. It is highlighting. I am obsessed with this highlighter. This is one of my favorite Drugstore highlighters. This was only $10 and look at that. I love using it with a fan brush. This is the Morphe M310 and it just looks so beautiful. I kind of do like this little C right here. It is so beautiful. This is, of course, it's my full coverage drugstore foundation routine. You can totally change it and alter it to however it is that you want. You can do that with any of my looks. You can do that with anything you see on YouTube or Instagram. Think of it as inspiration, because that's what we're here for. We're here to give you guys inspiration, to hang out with you guys, to give you guys something to kind of just take your mind off of like daily BS. At least that's what I want to do with my channel. I just want to really bring positivity into the beauty community, because I feel like nowadays it's lacking a lot of it, and it really breaks my heart because we're losing like what beauty really is, you know? Like, beauty is not this like artificial, I have money, look at who I am, look at who I hang out with BS. It's not. It's what's in here. What's in here? You can't see my finger. What's in here? It's who you are and what you bring to the table and how you serve the world. Like, what do you give back to the world, you know? So I want to bring that back to the beauty community. You know, those are one of my goals with my channel, in case you're new here and you don't really know kind of like what I'm doing around these neck of the woods. You know, it sucks because like you see a lot of people bringing each other down when we shouldn't. We should be uniting. We should be uniting because we're here together. This shit's hard. Being human is weird as fuck, you know? Like, we are just surviving, and we need to stick together. And now we are going to set the face. We are basically done. I love using the NYX Dewy Mist because, like I've said, I have dry skin and I just love that like hydrated, dewy look. But they also have a really good one, which I don't have with me. I have it somewhere in there. It's the matte one, and it's also very good. The Milani setting spray is so good. The Make It Last is amazing, so I totally recommend that. Putting setting spray has to be one of my favorite parts about makeup, besides highlighter. For sure. Like, I just love the feeling of just like this is my full coverage drugstore foundation routine. I really hope that this video helped you guys to get a little more insight as to kind of like what I wear and what my faves are and my current go-tos and stuff like that. I really enjoy doing these videos. I really like this like chill kind of hanging out type video. My hair is still damp. If you guys have not subscribed yet, I really hope that you guys do subscribe and join us, because it is about to get super litty here. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.